Welcome to Practically Guaranteed. Today we're taking a look at Vorkath. Here are my stats. For the gear, I'm bringing in my best range setup that I have. For Vorkath, you want a Salve Amulet. If you don't have one of those, just replace it with your best. Other than that, Dragon Fire Protection. If you're under 90 ranged, bring in God D'hide or Black D'hide. If you're over 90 ranged, Void is better. For the inventory, we have plenty of food, a dueling ring to restock at the Ferox Enclave after each run, rune pouch that holds my Chaos, Air, and Earth runes so I can cast Crumble Undead. It doesn't have law runes because I like my one-click teleport in case I have an emergency. We also have the switch for the diamond bolts, the Slayer Staff to auto-cast Crumble Undead, and we also have an anti-fire potion, ranging potion, venom, and prayer potion. Prayers in case I need it or I want to do a 2-kill trip. Anti-venom is because Vorkath can venom. I have a Divine Bastion instead of just a plain raging potion. I prefer to Divine for lasting for the whole time instead of slowly dwindling. And because we can afford it, we went ahead and got the extended super anti-fires. The rest of the inventory is dedicated purely to food. Let's go ahead and get to Vorkath. Alright, so now that we're at Vorkath, real quickly you can see the tiles in his arena. You want to be standing just past one tile on that second row of tiles for the majority of the fight using a crossbow. If you're in the quest, once you step over the ice chunks is when he'll wake up. If you're after the quest, you have to enter and poke him. To help those in the quest, we will go ahead and stay here for now. Before entering, make sure that your quick prayer is set to pray range. You want to equip the Slayer Staff to make sure that you have auto retaliate off so Vorkath won't pull you in when he hits you, and that you have Crumble Undead auto-cast for your spell. Check the equipment to make sure we're starting on the ruby bolts instead of the diamond bolts. And before we go in, re-equip the Dragon Crossbow, turn off run, drink your potions, and you're good to enter. If you're during the quest, once you enter, the fight has started. This is the square I prefer to start and stand on majorly, but within this range of 5 tiles is essentially where you were going to want to be for the majority of this fight. Vorkath only really has 4 attacks to worry about. He has his main fireball, which he'll arc into the sky. All you have to do is step 2 tiles away on that one. He has a pink fireball, which will disable your prayers. That's why we have quick prayer set up for range to turn it back on. He has also 2 other special attacks to think about. One of them is the acid pool and the other one is his undead spawn. The undead spawn is easy. You just switch to the Slayer Staff and click it. Once you get the XP drop, switch back over and reprioritize Vorkath. For the acid pool, you just step onto one of these 5 tiles. As long as you are not in this area, he will not cover it with his acid. So that means that while you're standing here, you wait for him to launch the green blobs into the air. Once they're in the air, click back 1 and then just start walking left and right. He does one of his 2 special attacks, the undead spawn or the acid pools, every 7 attacks. And as long as you assume the acid pool is his first attack, because his first special can be randomized between the 2, you're pretty much guaranteed to never have a worry. Quick interjection, but one more thing I want to mention. If you go into your settings, under controls, you can have it so where control click will invert your run mode. What this essentially means, I have it set to always. If I have it to where I'm walking, if I click, I walk, but if we hold control and click, we run. This makes it easier because his large fireball, instead of taking 2 ticks to get to safety, you can take 1 tick to get to safety. I personally prefer just to run all across the 5 tiles whenever he does it. This also works if it's inverted, so if you have it set to run and you hold control, you will instead walk to your destination. I mostly use the control click only for his fireball and to click back onto the line here, but since it's a 1 square gap, this makes no difference. So let's go ahead, give him a poke. So now the fight has started. Make sure you have your prayer on, all your potions are up, and we're just counting to 7. And 2. We're just counting his attacks. There's 3. 4. 5. 6. Assume the fireball for the first. Or I'm sorry, acid pool, but it's not. Just click the spawn. As soon as the XP drops, switch back over. There's 1, 2. Pink means turn prayer back on for 3. And this should be 5 with 6. And for the 7th one, once he shoots the acid, step back and start walking. Take this walking phase to eat your food to heal up. Drink any potions if you need to if you're running low. Once you get back out of the acid phase, turn on your prayer. Oop. If you misclick, it's fine. It's only the real fireballs the one to worry about. And I like to keep my mouse hovering over to my run destination just in case he does launch a fireball. Just like that. Get you to safety a lot faster. I turn off my prayer during his specials to save a little bit of the prayer during the fight. That's 1 and 2. Here's 3 for a fireball. 4 for the pink ball. Just turn prayer back on. 5, 6, and this will be his 7th. Step back and walk. Heal up if you need to. And this fight really is just counting to 7, paying attention to those 2 specials and those other 2 attacks during his little secondary rotations here. So 1, he's down to 350 health. We'll switch over to the diamond bolts. This should be 4. 5 is a fireball. 6, and once it's out, you can't hurt him. XP dropped, eat some food, switch back, and turn back on prayer. Go back to Vorkath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This phase is easy as long as you keep moving. I'm almost out of the anti-venom. We'll go ahead and up that while we're in this phase. And just go back to my main spot. Turn back on prayer. You might take some big hits during this part. It's not advised to eat while fighting him here, but that's another reason I like the control clicks. It lets me avoid those fireballs faster. But you can eat in emergency during this. You're only really taking mostly damage from his magic attacks, and that's gonna hurt. And this should be 5, 6, and 7 is another acid phase. Conserve prayer, and we definitely need to heal up here. That was not a good round of his attacks. And his phase is over. Go back to our spot, make sure prayer's back on. Still at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's going to be the zombie spawn next, so I'm not even going to worry about having to turn off prayer. It lands, you kill it, just in case we'll heat. Hey, alright. And one more good hit and he should be dead. There we go. Not the best kills. Not the worst kill. My average time is roughly about 4 or 5 minutes per each of these. And the average Vorkath kill I think is around 100k. Over the last 6 that I've tracked, it's come to 123k kill. But there it is. It's nothing too crazy. He's pretty simple. Just really count to 7, turn back on prayer if it's the pink ball, walk away 2 tiles if it's his big fireball, move in the acid phase, and crumble undead on his undead spawn. But there we go. That's essentially Vorkath in a nutshell. That's going to be it for me. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your day.